Good afternoon here from Southern California. It's extremely bright outside. Oh man, I know you guys can't even see me too well. Let's just jump inside. There's a whole mess going on. It was my buddy's birthday. Actually flew out here to surprise him. You guys will be seeing a really cool video on all that soon. I just wanted to jump on here real fast and talk to you guys about Shopify. Yes, it's something new on the channel, but I actually want to talk about what I'm currently doing and my kind of plan here for April. So this is something that's coming up, and I always like to think about this like the month before. So it's similar to how every single day on a more micro basis, I write down in my notebook. Every single day I have a different sheet. I like to write down the night before what I have to do that next day. So I like to map out my months as well, so I kind of move on different intervals. Now, one of the things I'm going to be focusing on very much so in April, April, by the way, is going to be one of the only months for like the next 5 to 6 months that I'm going to be spending probably not really traveling. I'll be in Hawaii in the start of it, but right after April, like kind of beginning and middle of May, I'm headed back overseas for a couple months throughout the summer. So I don't want to say things are going to be hectic. I'm still going to be working and doing my stuff, but definitely a lot of my stuff needs to get done, I guess, in advance, or at least the harder things that might require me to like really be crazy on with my attention is going to be happening this month, okay, this coming month. So that's why I really want to focus on that. So the things that I'm personally focusing on, I have a couple of current stores that I'm working with, 2 that I'm partnered with that are brand new, partnered with people, about to be 3. One on my own that I'm focusing on, the other one's completely automated, and then one with a new partner, okay, who's actually a student, someone I scaled. So I have a good amount of focuses just on the end of Shopify, okay? Already 4 current running stores, and then those 2 new additional ones about to be another that are currently running. So the cool thing is, a good chunk of those, okay, have partners inside of them, which mean that they're doing a good chunk of the work as well. So I might only be doing, just the marketing. Okay, which for me is fine. I love checking the ads. I'm a nerd when it comes to that stuff. So I'm really focusing a lot more on e-commerce. I'm putting a lot more of my attention on there, more so than I actually really ever have. And that's been true for the last couple months. I know I mentioned that a while back. The reason I'm actually focusing more on e-commerce now than I ever have, I just see a much better potential. And I almost feel like the space is cleared. And what I mean by that, people ask me all the time, one of the most the most frequently asked question is, can you still make Shopify work? Is Shopify dropshipping dead? Does this still make money? Can I start? Should I start? And I feel like that question's been asked for years. I know it hasn't. I used to get it 2 years ago. People are like, don't start it, it's dead. Well, those people are still talking. I'm still making money. And that has nothing to do with bragging. That's just, here it is, be logical. So I almost feel like so many people have either quit or given up. And that's not the only reason why I'm starting, but I just love what I do with that. And again, I am a nerd when it comes to that stuff. So I love Facebook ads. That's just kind of my bread and butter. And so, when there's a cool product and we can have a really cool video ad for it or some sort of ad creative, and then I can market that, I love the analytics behind it. I love the challenge. I love the strategy. So for me, that's why I'm really focusing a lot more of my attention on that versus a lot of other things. Now, one of the new things I'm also going to be focusing on here in April before I head off overseas, I've got to put together a bunch of new training for e-commerce. So the cool thing is I'm also focusing a lot more on it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to record some of that stuff live. That's going to be going inside of our programs, as well as some new training that I've been working on. So there's a lot of fun things in the works, a lot of current stuff, a lot of updated stuff, future stuff, and I'm very excited to be sharing all that with you guys. So if there's anything specific you want to see maybe mentioned here on the channel, inside the programs, or in any sort of new training, both free and paid, definitely let me know in the comments down below what you think would be the most valuable to you. But my main primary focus here in April, actually before I head off overseas, I've been focusing for a couple weeks a lot on my health. This kind of last 2 months, March and April for me, is really just health and wealth. So those are the 2 things where I'm really focusing on. The other areas are lacking a little bit, and it's because I have to focus on those. I've mapped out my year. I knew it would happen because I have to get this stuff done before I go do anything else, before I do the stuff that I have to do. So for right now, I'm focusing on really putting a lot of the stuff in place, getting the structures done, so that then while I'm traveling, I can do that and not have to worry about other things while still, of course, working. So, a lot of that's gonna be new content, setting up payment processor accounts, getting out of the way any meetings I have to do. That's why I'm here in LA right now, aside from surprising my buddy for his birthday. I actually haven't been to my place here in Newport. I've been here for 3 hours in the last 3 months. 3 hours. So I just slept here last night, which is the first time in quite a while. Figured I'd make some use out of it. But yeah, so April's going to be an interesting month because we actually just finished up quarter 1. This is the last couple days of the month here in March, which Q1, a lot of people still don't know what that is. You kind of break up the year into 4 different quarters, right? So for Q1, it's the first 3 months of the year. I hope that you guys crushed your goals. I put in a lot of work. So for me, it's been very consistent months. very, very consistent, very good months. And I actually have some really, really cool stuff I'm going to be doing and sharing with you guys before I go overseas. And I guess I am still going to be traveling in April. I'm going back home to Minnesota. Surprise my family, say some stuff, whatever, and we'll see everyone and do whatever. So that'll be fun. But, you know, again, a lot of stuff just focused on work. That's been my year in 2019. I'm really focused on building a system for something, which means that I have it down. So I'm being very disciplined. I'm literally working every single day from 8 or 9 a.m. until about midnight to 1 a.m. every single day. There's like 2 or 3 main breaks. Making food, then later in the day I will get food. I will either go skateboard or go to the gym. I'm kind of alternating on the days there to make sure I'm either getting outside and working out skateboarding, doing something that has, you know, a little bit of fun involved where I'm sweating in the sun but not really thinking about it because I'm having a good time, or B, going to the gym. So again, that health piece is coming into play there. And then I'm watching what I eat. I'm drinking a gallon of water every single day. That's what I've been focusing on, and I feel amazing. Like 2 days into that, like that next day, like I've never felt so good and so productive. I had one of the most productive days I've ever had in quite some time, which for me was awesome. I was super pleased with that. So definitely doing my best to really stay disciplined with that and, you know, focus on it. You don't need to completely go crazy with anything, but, you know, easing into that pretty heavily. So that's been a lot of fun. Now, the last couple months as well has been a lot of e-commerce. It hasn't really been too much crazy new stuff with the brand, nothing crazy YouTube content. I'm trying to answer DMs and get to stuff where I can, but I've been focusing on building the back end. So again, the system is me putting in the work. It's just me working man hours. That's all it is. So learning it, mastering it. And the last 3 months have also had a lot of things going into place with the automation. So it's systemize and then optimize. So for me, kind of the systemizing and optimizing goes together, but I also consider optimizing a part of automating, which means having someone else do something for you once you train them effectively. So for a lot of people who don't know, I haven't really shared it too much. I actually have a house in Arizona, not the place that I live at, where I have a good chunk of employees living, and they're there working for me, doing a bunch of cool stuff. You know, they do a few other things. Great group of guys. I've showed you guys the house if you look back on the channel for a house tour. Beautiful place, but they're there doing a bunch of stuff for me, which is awesome. You know, a bunch of stuff, kind of managing a few things, taking some, you know, some little workloads off of my plate where they can, which has been absolutely amazing. So for me, I was willing to bring on more expenses than I ever have before in the last 6 months. Ever. Like it's not even a comparison. Like I used to spend, you know, a very, very, very minimal amount in proportion to what my company was making. But I decided to bring on a lot of people and really invest into this so that I can automate that. Even if, you know, I'm like, I'll just give you an easy example. This number has no relation to my stuff. Let's say if I'm making $10,000 a month with something, but I have to put in work. Or I can pay someone $1,500, so 15% of that, to then automate it, where it stays at 10. It's not really going to grow, but it's going to stay at 10, and now I don't have to put in any work. Is my time worth that 1,500? And again, those numbers have no correlation, but I wanted to kind of put that little example there because, again, being able to remove my time to then focus on something else that either A, has more scalability, or B, I want to. You know, I really, really, really am trying to get an e-commerce store to $1 million a month in revenue. That would be an amazing thing for me. That's something I'm pushing for. I love that idea of the challenge. So that's, you know, I've never mentioned that here on the channel. It's just a little personal thing. So yeah, that's really been the focus, the e-commerce end of it. Again, the reason for that, there's been a really good amount of trending products going well. Facebook actually had a complete purge. On my phone, I'll show you something real quick on my phone. Facebook and Instagram are basically down for, I think, like 11 hours last week, at least from when I'm watching this. Some of you guys might have been affected by that, but it definitely affected a lot of my stuff. And I want to show you that as an example here. Let me pull up a monthly chart. Actually, I'm switching to the payment processor on this, so the payments are on hold. Let me see if that'll load in there. So that's this month so far with the story. See where it dipped down there? It actually went down to $300 a day. It had just hit a high day of a little bit over 9,000. It was looking at like the 8 to 10,000 range. Yeah, that right there is a 10K a day store, but it died to $300 a day for a couple days. So I had to put in a bunch of work to build it back. You know, I've been really focusing on just building stuff, and you know, Facebook kind of messed me up a little bit on a couple stores. But you know, it's been a fun challenge. I really like where things are headed. I'm really happy with, like, I almost want to say, my knowledge on what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing with e-commerce. It's working really, really well. So that's also part of the reason why this coming month, I'm going to focus a lot on putting out some training on that, sharing a lot more with you guys, which I know people keep asking for. So Maybe we'll have some sort of new training. I want to do some sort of group, which would be a super fun thing. People know that I work with a couple of people, literally only 2 to 3 people every single month for direct one-on-one coaching. That's not something I've ever even mentioned on YouTube. I'm not telling you where to reach out to me, not even putting the contact information because it's not available. But that's something where I want to figure out how to, again, systemize, optimize, and automate that. So I want to be able to kind of get a different structure going. Maybe not something crazy one-on-one, but maybe something lower ticket, a different type of training. I want to be able to share what I'm doing, give people information who are serious and want to learn. So, we're gonna have free trainings, paid trainings, maybe some groups, something like that. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And also, I've been working a lot on some other things. Part of these partnership stuff with stores, different types of stuff, that kind of goes under the agency category. And there's a couple things I've been doing with my agency that I've been very silent about. That I made a couple of videos here on YouTube because people kept asking. But I'm sure you guys will see a couple more videos and topics of me talking about that and discussing it throughout this next month. So definitely make sure to pay attention for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm actually filming on a whole new setup. I got a new camera, a new mic and whatnot. So I hope it was good. The lighting might not be the best, but it's nice and sunny, about to be sunset here in Newport Beach, California. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd greatly appreciate it if you drop a like down below and let me know down in the comments, what is one main thing, the biggest single thing that you are focusing on in April? You're gonna start off Q2 the right way. I would love to know what your focus is, making sure that you're on the right track, because I would love to hold you accountable, okay? I hope you'll do the same with me. With that being said, you guys, I'll be seeing you in the next video. Peace.